Hi everyone, I'm Kathy and welcome back to Teach English with Kathy B. If you're new to teaching English online, you've probably heard the terms like TEFL, TESOL, TPR, trial lesson, or student talking time, and you've wondered what everyone is talking about. When I first started, I remember feeling completely overwhelmed by all the industry jargon. So, in today's video, I'm going to explain some of the most common ESL terms you're going to come across during your interviews, during training, and while you are teaching online. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what these terms mean and you'll feel much more confident as you begin your online English journey. So let's jump in.
When you enter the world of online ESL, you are met with a whole lot of new words and a new language, and that can sometimes feel frustrating and confusing. This video is all about teaching you the core terminology you will come across in the industry. You will learn all the most frequently used words and the abbreviations and what they mean. Let's have a look. The first two we have is ESL and EFL. So ESL stands for English as a Second Language. These are non-native English speakers who are learning English as their second language. EFL stands for English as a Foreign Language. These are non-native English speakers who are learning English. So in essence, these two mean exactly the same thing. So some companies will refer to it as ESL and some companies will refer to it as EFL, but it means exactly the same thing. Okay, then we come to these two certificates. We've got the TESOL certificate and we have the TEFL certificate. They both are weighted exactly the same and they mean exactly the same thing. The TESOL is just a more modern certificate than the TEFL. The TEFL was around first, and the TESOL has come after it. So TESOL stands for Teachers of English to Speakers of Other Languages. TESOL courses have been designed more recently than the TEFL, the TESOL. TESOL course draws on broader elements of each of the latter teaching certificates to provide the base for teachers to teach in both non-native English countries and within English-speaking countries. Okay, so that's a TESOL. And the TEFL is Teaching English as a Foreign Language, also known as Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. So that's the TESOL. And teaching ESL. These mean exactly the same thing. Teaching English to non-native speakers of English. Okay, so if you see those two different names, it does mean the same thing. Some people do the TESOL certificate and some people do the TEFL certificate. I have done both of those certificates. Then we come to this certificate, which is the CELTA certificate, which is a certificate of English language teaching to adults. This is a Cambridge certificate and it's quite a good certificate. The Cambridge CELTA is a specialized type of TEFL certificate. It's run in centers around the world. It's an intensive course lasting about 4 to 5 weeks full time, and it's quite costly. But it's the most advanced options out of the TEFL and the TESOL. And it focuses on both the theory and the practical components. And it's ideal for non-native English speakers who want to teach abroad. So that's if you want to actually go abroad and go teach in a physical classroom, like in China or Hong Kong or Vietnam. This is the certificate that you're going to need. But it's not a requirement for native English speakers to teach online. So the CELTA, the TESOL, and the TEFL, they all weighted the same in the online teaching industry. So if you have any one of those three certificates, you would be able to teach online. Obviously, the CELTA is more expensive, so you're not going to go with that if you are going to just be teaching online. Okay, then when it comes to this, you will see and hear a lot of in the online industry. This is the ALTIS, which stands for International English Language Testing System. Okay, so the ALTIS is designed to help the student work, study, or migrate to a different country where English is the native language. So for instance, if a Chinese person is going to be moving to the United Kingdoms, they're going to do the IELTS because that's going to be what they're going to be graded on, whether their English is good enough to be able to get a visa and to be able to go there. The ability to speak, read, write, and listen are tested. If you teach this on an independent platform like Amazing Talker and Preply, you can be charging a lot more per lesson because it's really specialized and it is in high demand. So people that do teach this IELTS can charge a lot more per lesson. Okay, then you get to the next one. It's called the TEFL. Okay, that's also you'll hear a lot of in the online industry. It's a test of English as a foreign language, and it's also a standardized test to measure the English language ability of non-native speakers wishing to enroll in English-speaking universities. So you often will find people from non-native English-speaking countries who want to go and study at a university in an English native speaking country will do the certificate to prove that they're fluent enough in speaking English to be able to be enrolled. It is quite a difficult test, and if you are going to be teaching this, you have to be specialized in it. So you would do a training course on that. Okay, then we come to TPR, and if you're going to be teaching children, you're going to hear a lot about TPR. That's total physical response. Okay, that's when you use your whole body while you're busy talking to show things. Total physical response is a language teaching method developed by James Asher, a professor of psychology at the San Jose State University. It's based on the coordination of language and physical movement. It is a unique ESL teaching technique using your body, and your students will then mimic you. So that this makes the learning process much easier and more enjoyable for them. It also keeps them engaged and keeps them focused on you. So it's good to use some TPR in your lessons. Okay, then we come to this. Companies do check on this. This is STT, which stands for Student Talking Time. Okay, so some companies measure how much time the students spend talking in the class. The amount of time students spend talking during a lesson is important because the students need to speak more than the teacher does in the lesson. I always say that students probably need to speak 70% and the teachers about 30%. So the way they learn is by speaking and making mistakes. So initiating conversation, and then it will help them to talk and to give them a lot more talking time than you yourself. So we come to the next one, which is TTT, which is teacher talking time. This is the amount of time that the teacher spends during the lesson. So TTT should be less than STT. And really, some companies do actually measure you and monitor you to make sure that you're giving the students enough talking time. Okay, then we come to this, which is NES, and NNES, and you'll hear this a lot. So NES stands for Native English Speaker. That means when your first language is English. Okay, so that means your parents are English, you are brought up as English speaker. So usually people that are native English speakers come from the US, UK, Canada, Australia, Ireland, New Zealand, and sometimes South Africans are considered by companies, and sometimes they are not. Okay, so NNES is non-native English speaker. So you are a NNES when English is not your first language. Okay, so when you have grown up learning a different language, or your home language is a different language, then you are a non-native English speaker. You may be really fluent in English, but that doesn't make you a native English speaker. You would still fall under the class of a non-native English speaker. Even though your accent is perfect and you're really fluent, there's a difference between them. Okay, then we have K to K-12, okay, which means kindergarten to 12th grade. The K to 12 system stands for from kindergarten to 12th grade. This is roughly the school age of around about 5 years old. which is going to be the grade K, and going through to grade 12, which is around the age of 18 years old. The system is broken down into 3 stages: elementary school, which is grade K to 5, middle school, which is grade 6 to 8, and high school, which is grade 9 to 12.
I hope you found this video helpful. Understanding the terminology used in the ESL industry will make interviews, training sessions, and teaching platforms much less intimidating. If you're serious about becoming an online English teacher, make sure you subscribe, because every week I share practical tips, platform reviews, interview advice, CV guidance, and everything you need to land your first online teaching job. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comment which ESL term was completely new to you, or if there's another term that you're unsure of and you would like me to explain in a future video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.